What's up guys, this is Cody here, and today I'm going to be doing a recap of the entire Apple event. So if you didn't get to see it because, you had work or class or for whatever reason, you weren't following me on Twitter, getting that awesome live tweet action during the entire event, or third, you just don't want to watch the entire thing because there's quite a bit of fluff in the presentation of all these things, so you just want a quick recap of everything that happened, you have found your video, my friend. Now, the event started out with the Apple Watch, and it was kind of nice to get the boring stuff out of the way to begin with, just because there wasn't a whole lot of content there that I was looking forward to. But if you haven't gotten the Apple Watch just yet, there's actually two new colors that you can try out for yourself, one being gold and the other one being rose gold. Now, Apple also teamed up with a company called Hermes, I don't know. There's probably some fancy way to say it, because you want to know what? The Apple Watch bands that they made cost minimum of like $1,100. That's $1,100. That's the cheap one, mind you. That's the start. They start at $1,100. There's one that's like $1,500 that's just, it's ugly. It's not even, anyways, I don't know, man. If you're like filthy rich, you can go buy these, $1,500 watch bands for your $400 watch. Actually, you probably have the $17,000 watch, in which case you're probably not even watching this video because you probably have somebody that shows up at your door and like presents everything to you. You don't even like have time to watch YouTube. But seriously, they're like $1,500. Unless they're like, crafted and assembled by virgins on Mount Fuji, these are not something that I would recommend getting unless, you got the money, which I guess some people have that kind of money. But if you don't want to spend that kind of money on a watch band, then you can actually check out some of the new watch bands that Apple released in different colors for the Apple Watch Sport that are also going to be quite a bit cheaper. Now, watchOS 2 is going to be released soon as well, and we're going to be seeing new things like new watch faces, like time lapses for the the watch face, or photo albums that's going to kind of cycle through photos, or you can just choose a single photo and keep that as your watch face as well. Now, not only that, but you're also going to have some more options to customize your complications on your watch face. So basically that's just the little widgets that you have with the calendar or the time or date, whatever you want to put on there. Now, jumping away from the Apple Watch, Apple also announced the iPad Pro, which is something that I was really looking forward to during this event. Now, this thing has a gargantuan 12.9-inch screen. So this is going to allow you to use two side-by-side full screen applications like you would normally use on your iPad Air 2, and it also has 4 speakers, which is also 3 times louder than the iPad Air 2 speakers. And of course, it's going to be a whole lot faster. Now, the prices for these things are going to start at $799 and then go all the way up to $1,079 for that 128 gig cellular model. Now, they also announced a few accessories for the iPad Pro, one of those being the Apple Pencil. So this is basically going to be a stylus if you use your iPad for drawing or, well, drawing, I guess. That's the only thing I can think of that I would use a stylus for. Maybe some type of games, I guess. But if you want a stylus, yes, the pen, if you want a pen to use on your iPad Pro, it's going to cost you $100 to get, which luckily I don't need this thing, but it costs $100. So if you want it and you draw on your iPad, $100. Now, they also introduced the Smart Keyboard, which is a case as well as a keyboard. So of course, there's two things, so we're gonna have to jack up the price. This is Apple we're talking about. So the Smart Keyboard is gonna be $1 million. No, I'm kidding. It's like $169, but still at the same time, it looks cool. I probably don't need a keyboard for my iPad, but if you do, then you can check this out. It looks pretty cool. It looks a lot like a Surface, like a Microsoft Surface, so everything looks like everything these days, though, right? Am I right? Okay. If you want to spend $170 on a keyboard, Apple's got you covered. Now, they also briefly mentioned the iPad Mini 4, which is obviously a brand new iPad Mini. It's thinner, it's faster, and it's available today, so you can order it online. Next was the Apple TV, and this was actually, for me, a pleasant surprise. You're gonna get an all new remote with a couple extra buttons, as well as a touchpad that allows you to do gestures on it to basically pull down screens, flip up screens, scroll left, right, up, down, all kinds of cool stuff. A lot of different gestures, but not only that, you get an all new TV OS. So this is basically revamping the entire UI of what you know as Apple TV. But Siri is pretty awesome. I mean, the way that they demoed this and a lot of the ways that I would think to use Siri, they mentioned in the demo. So things like you couldn't hear what somebody said. So, or if you're watching TV, so you would say something like, "What did she say?" And it would loop back 15 seconds, turn on the captions temporarily just to show you what that person said, just because that's crazy awesome. I think that's really cool. The next thing is that when you're searching for movies or TV shows or anything like that, it's actually going to search through iTunes, Hulu, Netflix, HBO, Showtime. All 5 of those things, and you can choose where you want to watch this. Now, one place that it doesn't search is Amazon Prime, which is kind of unfortunate because I know a lot of people actually use Amazon Prime as their primary source for TV entertainment. So I guess there's kind of a hissy fit going on between Apple and Amazon, but hopefully in the future they can somehow integrate Amazon into that search feature as well. Basically, in terms of the Apple TV, I wasn't very excited about this thing, but now at this point I think I'm gonna buy it. So these actually start at $149 for the 32 gig model, and then goes up to $199 for the 64 gig model. And of course we have the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus. So these are gonna be coming in that same rose gold color, which really, I mean, to me, it just looks like a pale pink color. Looks like they tried to make it pink and didn't quite succeed. Not something that I'm gonna be rocking. It's probably gonna be really popular with the girls, just because pink girls, I don't know girls. I don't know what to do with my hands either. Now, what's really cool about the new iPhones is that there's a new feature called 3D Touch, which is basically like Force Touch, except it has an extra layer in between there. So basically there's a tap, there's a press, a light press, and then there's a deep press. And those all 3 things do different things in the iPhone in iOS 9. So for instance, if we were going to go inside of our Photos album and we tapped on a picture, it's just going to open up. Now, if we lightly press on it, it's actually going to give us what Apple is calling a peek. So what a peek is that it gives you a little pop-up in the middle of your screen so you can take a quick glance at it. Now, if you want to open it up completely, then you can deep press on it and it's going to pop, that's what Apple calls it, up into full screen. That way you can obviously interact it like you normally would if you were to just tap on it. Now, same thing goes for the app icons as well. So if you press on an app icon, it's actually going to give you a pop out of what your frequently used actions are. So for instance, if you were going to, press on your maps, you can see options to take you home or drop a pin where you are, things like that, just to make things a whole lot quicker rather than having to open up the application, navigate to that specific thing, and then use it. Being able to just press right on your springboard on an app icon and then doing the action that you wanted is actually going to be really cool, and I look forward to checking this out. But this is a really cool feature, I think, and there's a lot of different things that that Apple can actually implement this 3D touch with. Now, what I'm actually excited for is to see what Jailbreak devs do with this new 3D touch. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Now, of course, with the new iPhones, we're also going to be seeing a brand new A9X chip, which is basically 70% faster CPU performance as well as 90% better graphics performance. So that's going to be interesting to see once we actually put those to the test. We also got an upgrade to the rear-facing camera, which is bumped up from 8 megapixels to 12 megapixels, which is going to be really awesome, as well as 4K video recording, which should be pretty incredible for the average user. One thing to keep in mind is how much space 4K recording is going to take up on your device. Maybe they have some awesome compression that I don't know about, but it could be somewhat of a hindrance of how much 4K video you can actually store on your device. Now, not only the rear-facing camera, but we got a massive bump from the front-facing camera as well, from a 1.2 megapixel up to a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. And they're also going to be using the display as a flash, or a true tone flash, just like they use on the rear-facing camera, except it's all going to be on the display. So basically it's just going to match the lighting in the area, and then it's going to give a flash, take a picture, and then your selfies are going to be on point. They also have a really cool feature that they're calling live photos. I'm doing air quotes a lot in this video. Basically how this works is you turn on the live photo option in your camera app, and then once you take a picture, it's actually going to capture 1.5 seconds before you take the picture, and then 1.5 seconds after you take the picture. And then once you have the picture in your photo album or your photos, and you use your 3D press or 3D touch to press down on that picture, it's actually going to play those series of photos in order. Sound familiar? Yeah, because that's a GIF. or a GIF, whatever you want to call it. It's not called live photos. That's been invented already. You can't just rename it. Anyways, nevertheless, it's actually a cool feature and I'm actually looking forward to checking it out. Now we actually got a bunch of different silicone cases as well as leather cases in different colors that you can check out on Apple's website as well. I actually went with the midnight blue leather case and I'm going to be getting the silver iPhone 6s Plus. I think that's going to be a pretty good combo. Now Apple has also implemented the Apple Upgrade program, which seems almost too good to be true. So basically what it is for people that upgrade their devices every single year. And that's the only people that are going to be interested in this. But basically what it does is allow you to upgrade your phone every year. It's going to give you an unlocked phone, so you're going to be able to choose your carrier. You're going to get Apple Care Plus, and it starts at $32 per month. Now that $32 per month is probably the iPhone 6s 16 gig version, so the more expensive device that you get, the higher the price, that monthly price, is going to be. But at the same time, if you pay $32 a month for 12 months, that's going to be $384 a year, and then you get to upgrade to the iPhone 7 a year after that. So you don't have to worry about selling your device. You don't have to worry about getting back into a contract with your carrier. So I mean, those two things are awesome, and it's going to be a whole lot cheaper probably, unless you can sell your device for, you know, more than the difference between the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 6s. I hope that makes sense. So the new iPhone 6s and the iPhone 6s Plus is going to be available for pre-order on September 12th. And then you're gonna be able to pick those up, or they'll be delivered by September 25th. So if you're like me, I'm gonna be staying up all night on Friday, and then like 2 in the morning is when I'll be able to start ordering my device. So that's where I'll be if you guys need me. All right guys, so that's it for the recap. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you smash that like button. It really helps me out. Also, if you guys are planning on picking up any of these devices, let me know what devices you're getting with what configuration down below in the comments. I look forward to seeing what you guys end up picking up. All right guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.